Nestled on the eastern slopes of the Sandia Mountains, just 20 minutes from Albuquerque, is a peaceful mountain retreat. It's perfect for a weekend staycation or a stopover as you're passing through central New Mexico. This is Elaine's Bed and Breakfast. Elaine's Bed and Breakfast was originally built in 1979 as a family home, and she transitioned it to a bed and breakfast in 1988. It's still in operation by the original family, and it's currently run by Elaine's granddaughter, Abby, who is super sweet and a great cook, by the way. In this video, I'm going to show you in and around the property. We'll highlight a few fun things to do in the surrounding area and sit down for a lovely breakfast with Abby to learn a bit about the local community, how this business came to be, and some unique features of this home. This property is a hidden gem, and I am proud to support this local woman-owned business who's been a part of the community for over 35 years. So come along, let's check it out. Now I'm coming to you from the second story deck. This is a common area deck here at Elaine's Bed and Breakfast. Several rooms have private decks. There are about 5 different rooms here, and I'll show you as much as I can of whatever is open. And then this is a common area deck that you can come out whenever you'd like when you're staying here. There are several seating areas around the property. There's a water feature, there's hummingbird feeders. It is absolutely beautiful, and there's views in all directions. All right, so let's do a quick walkthrough of this property. We start out at the common deck and we come down the stairs, and this is the eating area right outside the kitchen. They also have a grill and a cute little patio here with several different seating spots. They've got a fire pit, and as you come around this side of the building, the water feature is on the right. Now we're going to head back around so I can show you the other side of the property. So underneath the common deck is another sitting area. They even have a bike over here that I'm sure you could use. A nice swinging chair. Again, more seating area, and they have lots of hummingbird feeders around the property. Now we're going to step inside. We're going to come in through the lobby, and as you enter the property, it enters into the kitchen. Now I'll just step right over here to show you what the kitchen looks like. And then we're going to go upstairs and check out the living room areas. This is also the exit to the common patio, and then here is the beautiful living space with plenty of room to relax. I'm going to take you up to my bedroom where I stayed, and then I will start a tour of all the different rooms here on the property. Now this is the Sangre de Cristo room. This is where I stayed, and I absolutely love this room. As you can see, it has so much natural sunlight. It has a fireplace in the room, several seating areas, and then of course my favorite part was waking up in the morning to the bright sunshine and stepping out on the patio and enjoying the fresh mountain air and beautiful views with my cup of coffee. Now there's a little storage closet by the front door. And then here's a look at the bathroom. It has a bath, a shower, and lovely amenities here at this property. There's some really cute artwork here in this room, and we're going to learn more about these pieces when we sit down with Abby for breakfast. Next up is the sunrise room. Now this room is right underneath the Sangre de Cristo room, and it also has a private patio. This is on the ground level of the property, and it actually has a separate entrance because you can walk in through this back door to access the room. And this is the outside of the property. You can see the Sangre de Cristos up top, and the sunrise room is down below. There's also a bathroom in the sunrise room, and I'm not quite sure why I didn't film it. Now from the main living room, which is the second level of the house, you can come around here to the side, and this here is the unicorn room. Very much a log cabin feel. This is the closet here. And then you can come around the corner to the restroom. It's a little bit of a smaller room at a little cheaper rate than the other rooms, but it does have a private bathroom. Very nicely decorated with this separate bathing space. Now I'll link in the description box below the link to Elaine's bed and breakfast where you can check out the pricing of the rooms, but it's extremely reasonably priced. Now this is the library room. This is next door to the unicorn room. Again, it has that log cabin feel. And in this room, there's a ton of books you can choose from. Now in this room, you do have to step outside of the room just across the hall to use the bathroom that's dedicated to your space. So each room does have a private bathroom space. Now let's come up to the third level and check out one last bedroom up here. This is the Manzano room. This room has an elegant Victorian feel. I love the decor, and there is another private patio with some of the best views from this third story room. I just love the decor in here, and there is a private bathroom here as well, right in through here. Each room in this bed and breakfast has a very unique feel. All right, breakfast is ready. It's my second day here at Elaine's bed and breakfast, and she makes a fabulous breakfast. She has baked items and hot items, and she sets it all out on the table. You make your plate, and you can eat inside or you can eat outside on the lovely patio, which is pretty hard to resist given how beautiful the morning is. Now it's just me here this morning, and so I'm going to spend some time and talk to Abby about the bed and breakfast, learn a little bit about this property and the history and her grandmother Elaine that started the business back in the 80s. All right, everybody, this is Abby with Elaine's Bed and Breakfast. Absolutely beautiful girl running an amazing, amazing bed and breakfast here in Cedar Crest, New Mexico. So I just wanted to find out a little bit about how this place came to be and how you became running the show over here.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lisa. My grandma, Elaine, she built this house in the 1970s, and we opened in 1988. So this October, we will be open for 36 years.
Wow.
She built this house
That's awesome.
originally as a family home, but by the time it was finished, there weren't any kids around, and she always wanted to run a bed and breakfast.
And how many kids did she have?
She had 3 total. But there weren't any grandkids, and my mom had moved out of the house, and so it was kind of empty. And
Do you know how long it took her to build it?
it took, well, the first part of the house, the bottom floor, and then part of the second floor, I think took about 1 or 2 summers. And then the rest of it, she's added on slowly, and that took about 10 years. And even
Over
still,
time.
we've been adding on. We added the water feature just a couple summers ago, and we
makes
used
it really
to have
nice.
a pond, and so we're always adding on. So I don't know how long it's taken in total, but we've been open for 36 years altogether.
That's amazing. So I was asking yesterday if she intended it to be a B&B, or if she was, you said it was supposed to be a family home, and then everyone was gone, so she turned it into a B&B.
She wanted all of the rooms, she wanted everyone to have their privacy, every room to have their own bathroom, so no one would have to wait. And everything in this house is entirely her design. My grandfather was a contractor, and he built the house.
So she designed it and he built it? Is that how it worked?
Yep, she told him what to do, and she liked it that way.
It's a dream come true. It's awesome.
And then later she met my Papa John, who was the love of her life, and he helped her turn it into a bed and breakfast. She had separated from my grandfather, and she got the house, and then she met my Papa John, and he helped her with the logistics and figuring out how to actually make it a bed and breakfast.
Run it as a business, yeah. And so when did you take over?
Well, I've been working with my grandma since I was 17. I'm 26 now. But I really started running it about 2.5 years ago. That's when we slowly started switching hands. It was a long process. 'Cause
Right.
this is her baby.
Right.
But she tried to get my brothers to do it, but none of them really
I didn't want
wanted
to take it
to.
I
It wasn't really
understand.
their thing. So, but yeah, I started as a housekeeper, and I did that for a long time. And I've had other jobs here and there, but I started there, and then she slowly started giving me more responsibilities, and then more and more.
Right. And she's now in...
She's in Tennessee.
In Tennessee. I was thinking it was Florida. Okay. All right. So I was a little confused because I wanted to call her Elaine, but her name is Abby and Grandma is Elaine. So.
My middle name's Elaine, so I could be Elaine
there
too.
you go. Okay.
My mom's middle name is Elaine too. All of us are. So any of us could be.
So do you have any interesting stories about the house or some of the stuff in the house? Now, outside of my room is a really amazing ship.
Yes.
Is there an interesting story related to that ship?
Yes.
I had a
So
feeling there might be.
Ross Ward, the man who created Tinkertown,
Yes.
he was good friends with my grandma, and he actually made that for her.
Wow.
And he, I don't think he helped build the house, but they had a close relationship and friendship before he passed away. She was friends with both Carla and Ross. I think Carla is her name, his wife. And they were good friends, and he painted all of the signage that was all over Cedar Crest. And, well, he passed in, I think, 2001. So a lot of the signs have been changed since, but we've got a couple signs of his that he made for her that are still up.
So cool. I was asking Abby about some of her, like, if you're staying in this area, some of your favorite things to do, some of your favorite things, places to eat. Could you kind of give me a little lowdown of the best for the locals?
Yeah, a lot of people come up here. The main thing is to get away from the city.
As I am. Absolutely.
They like the forest, they like the nature. I do get a lot of golfers. We've got the Paco golf course
That's right.
just up the road, like maybe 10 minutes from here. We have tons and tons of hiking trails, and they're really beautiful. We get lots of bird watchers. There's a lot of people who want to be outside because Albuquerque is nice, but it's hot, and it's more of a city. It's spread out. It's not very walkable.
Right. And this is a great day trip. I mean, just a weekend getaway. It's absolutely beautiful. And I saw maybe 4 deer coming back from dinner last night, driving on the gravel road up here. And they were big. They were healthy. Beautiful deer.
Yay!
It was nice. I kind of captured a little glimpse. How is the road in the winter with the snow? Does it get dicey a little bit?
Does a little bit.
Okay.
North 14, they salt and they plow, and so sometimes it's a little scary. But mostly North 14 is pretty well maintained. And then our road, they do plow and salt as well, but since it's a dirt road and it's a little twisty, it's a little trickier.
There's a lot of people that live up here, so I imagine it gets worn in pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. And you are open all year round?
We're open all year round. I would say the months that we get the most snow, it used to be December. We used to get snow on Christmas, but the last couple years.
February now, huh?
The last couple months, it's been January, February, and even March. I think we got
things
snow
are kind of changing.
I think we got a little bit of snow in April too. My grandma once said we got snow as early or as late, I guess, as August, which was kind of crazy.
And the ski area, I think they're starting to open the ski area again. So that's also something that's nearby that would be cool to do.
Yeah, actually, that's in the winter.
80s, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
We used to ski a lot, and then it closed for many, many years.
We used to get, that used to be part of our busy season in the winter was skiers. and people stopping by, you know, maybe they were in Albuquerque, they didn't want to go all the way home, or they were from out of town. But since they've closed the ski area, we don't get as much business for skiers because they're all from Albuquerque. They don't need a place to stay. Well, I don't know. I love going up to the crest, and I love the crest road. My great grandparents actually worked on the towers on the top of the crest. That's why part of why they came out to New Mexico. My grandma, Elaine was born in 1946, and in 1952 she developed histoplasmosis because she was born in Memphis or in Tennessee.
Okay.
So the humidity in the air was too much for her lungs. And
What is
mold and
that
everything.
disease?
I don't know exactly what histoplasmosis is, but it's the
Something
moisture in the lungs. And it was making it really hard for her to breathe. She was only 6. And the doctors told my great-grandparents if they didn't take her to a drier climate, she was going to die. So they said, okay. And they brought her and my aunt over to New Mexico. And both of my great-grandparents were radio and ham radio and TV engineers.
Oh, cool.
So,
the radio towers were just their thing. Because there's a lot of them up there.
Yeah, they even helped work on the road that goes up to the crest. It was not even a road hardly yet. I think maybe it was a dirt road.
Right.
And they were carving it through the mountain in the 1950s.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
And that's actually how my grandma came to love the mountains, because my grandma Elaine, they spent every summer on the top of the mountain. And she told me that she told my great-granddad when she was 8 that he needed to start buying land because it was really cheap and it was going to be a good investment.
Yeah, that
And
was
he
a smart
said,
move.
"What do you know about land? You're 8 years old." And so he didn't buy land, but when she turned 18, he said, "Elaine, I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you. I just didn't know that you were right because you were 8 years old."
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And she told
Most adults
me,
don't even think through that well.
yeah. Well, she was right, and she told me that she said, "Okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway." And she bought land, and then she built this house.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's so beautiful and it's so peaceful out here. And the skies in New Mexico are the best of anywhere I've traveled. So you have just expansive views here. It's really gorgeous. I just wanted to ask about, there's some pictures or paintings or portraits in, I think it's the library room. Are those relatives? Are those?
Yes. Well, yes.
Especially
So
the man. There's like is it was he
I think
military?
he
I
was
took a picture
military.
of it, and I'll have to show it here on the video. But I was like, I wonder if that's like a grandpa or
I
somebody in your
believe
family?
so. That was most of that memorabilia is from my Papa John's family.
Okay.
And so I don't know too much about his family, but I do know that those were his relatives. And
Okay.
actually, the library room, most of those books that are in there are his. He was
Wow.
such a big reader.
It's an impressive collection. In fact, I've noticed in several closets there was a lot of books. So if you want to come out here and just like read for a weekend, they got you covered.
Well, I've read that it only takes 1,000 books to equal a library, and I think we're there. I think we got there.
So too.
We've gotten rid of totes, like huge plastic totes of books, like 4 or 5 of them.
Wow.
And we still have that many.
That's impressive. It's impressive. And then I saw there's lots of cute bear memorabilia. And I even noticed, I almost missed it, but I noticed up on the second level on the wall, that was really, really cool and really creative. So how often do you see bears here? And is there anything, notable to talk about with some of that art that's in the house?
My mama did those.
Wow.
Actually, the room that you're in with the rabbits, my mom did those too.
Wow.
My mom did a lot of the art that's in this house. Oh my gosh,
So
she's
they're
so
a
awesome.
family of artists because Abby was here painting the new signs and painting some of the artwork in the front. So that's amazing.
My mom, any artistic endeavor you can think of, she's done it or she can do it. If she hasn't done it before, she could do it.
Carving. The wall is that a carving or is that okay.
She found pieces of wood and then she carved the bears in, and then there's a butterfly, and that's made of scrap metal.
Wow. That is cool. So like when you hanging out in the bed and breakfast, like if you just spend some time and just take a close look, there was that huge dictionary that was old. Like, I don't know, that thing was ancient.
That was from my Papa John's family too.
It has some cool stuff in there.
Everything in this house has a story.
Right, right.
It's very special. It's been handpicked by my grandma, and everything is intentional.
Right, right.
There's nothing in here that's
accident.
just because.
Yes.
Even the doors there, I don't know if you got a chance to look at those, but the ones with the stained glass and the people on them, the ones that are right behind you.
Oh, I'll have to take a close look. It's beautiful.
Those have a special story too. My grandmother, she used to run my grandfather's contracting company. She did the books and the paperwork and ran his business for him. And so he worked on bridges and things like that, and they were in Roswell. I think this was probably in the 70s. I don't know exactly what year, but she was in Roswell. She had a day that she could wander around, and there was an antique store going out of business. And so she walked in, and she told the owner, she said, "I don't like anything in your store, but I do like your windows."
That went over probably pretty well.
Well, she had a little bit of cash on her, and she said, "I've got this much," and I don't know exactly how much it was, but it must have been convincing, because she said, "I've got this much of cash. Would you be willing to sell your windows to me for this much?" And the lady thought about it, and she finally said yes.
Wow.
And Grandma grabbed them and ran because she had a feeling they were special.
Right.
And we had some museum curators come to stay with us, and they looked at the windows and they said, "Do you know what these are?" And I don't remember what they're called, but they're from the 1640s. And
Holy cow.
they're in Dutch. They all talk about relationships, and I can tell you what each one means.
Right, right.
But I'll have to see them. I'll have to tell you when we go on
yeah.
them. But yeah.
That's amazing. What a find.
Yeah.
She has an eye for the things that are special. That's
Grandma,
incredible.
the museum curators, they were like, "Well, do you want us to insure them for you?" And she was like, "Well, how much is it?"
I know, we'll see about that. It's the business savvy side coming out.
But they're really special. So
That's cool. All right, we're gonna go take a closer look at some of those. I wanna see that. That's really cool. I guess I didn't catch everything.
that's okay. There's a lot to look at.
There's a lot to see. So tell me about those bunnies. Who's who?
So the rabbits that are on the Sangre de Cristo bed are myself and 3 of my brothers. The one with the white ears is me.
Aw.
The very serious brown one that's very stiff is my oldest brother, David. The black and white one is my twin brother, Zach. And then the one that's kind of falling off of the post is my younger brother, Michael.
And you have a twin brother. Is it identical twins or fraternal twins?
Nope.
Fraternal twins.
We're twins A to Z.
All right, it's awesome.
Except he was born first, so Z to A, I guess. But Abby and
Fascinating. Fascinating. All right, so that's some cool things that you can see when you're in the house. Find some gems inside the house for yourself when you stay here at Elaine's Bed and Breakfast. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave that down below, and I hope you can subscribe. We'll see you next time.